Few franchises carry the cultural weight of Star Trek. Since its 1966 debut, Gene Roddenberry's creation has inspired generations with stories of exploration, morality, and hope for the future. But Nickelodeon's latest experiment, Star Trek Scouts, attempts something far stranger, introducing the Federation to toddlers through a CGI YouTube series aimed at the preschool crowd. The result, however, feels less like a bold new mission and more like a hollow branding exercise that fails both its audience and the Trek legacy. A preschool Trek nobody asked for. Star Trek Scouts debuted quietly on September 8th with little promotion, a telling sign of the network's lack of confidence. Unlike other Trek projects steeped in philosophy or social commentary, this series abandons those roots entirely in favor of lessons on counting, teamwork, and sharing. The star trio, JR, Sprocket, and Rue, are round-faced Starfleet hopefuls tackling missions that look more like reruns of CoComelon than anything tied to the Federation. Visually, the series leans into hyper-saturated colors and wide-eyed character designs meant to capture the attention of very young children. Unfortunately, this aesthetic quickly becomes grating. With voices pitched high enough to rival Baby Shark and scenarios that include battling a soapy asteroid, Scouts feels more like sensory overload than meaningful entertainment. Missing the point of Trek. What makes Star Trek Scouts especially frustrating isn't simply its lack of depth, but how fundamentally disconnected it feels from the franchise it borrows from. Roddenberry's vision thrived on nuance, tackling morality, diversity, and humanity's future through allegorical storytelling. Even if no one expects a preschool series to deliver the complexities of the next generation, shows like Bluey have proven that children's programming can address emotional and moral themes without talking down to its audience. Instead, Scouts offers rocket shoes, neon hoverboards, and wafer-thin scripts that could belong to any generic toddler show. Strip away the Starfleet uniforms, and nothing about the series resembles Trek at all. Who is this made for? That central question lingers. Who is Star Trek Scouts really targeting? For preschoolers already raised on CoComelon, it's just another 3 minutes of animated distraction. For parents who are also Trek fans, the hope might have been to gently introduce their children to the franchise. Yet the lack of substance ensures kids won't connect JR, Sprocket, or Rue with Captain Picard, Janeway, or Spock. Even Nickelodeon seems aware of this misfire, having released the series with virtually no fanfare. The lack of marketing suggests an understanding that Scouts is unlikely to win over fans new or old. A hollow voyage. Ultimately, Star Trek Scouts is a project adrift in space. While its intentions may have been to cultivate the next generation of Starfleet enthusiasts, it comes across as an uninspired attempt to cash in on an iconic name. The series entertains only in the most superficial way, bright colors, fast cuts, and catchy voices, without providing any of the intelligence or moral depth that has defined Star Trek for nearly 60 years. It may keep a toddler quiet for a few minutes, but it does so at the expense of everything that made Trek worth passing down in the first place. In the end, Star Trek Scouts is less a bold new frontier and more a cautionary tale about the dangers of diluting a classic.